Cruising isn't back yet, but when it does return, expect it to be very different compared to before the entire industry shut down. In fact, if you're used to the regular way of cruising, some of what you see on a cruise ship is going to be just plain weird by comparison. So here are 6 ways cruising will be weird. With any luck, we'll get over the COVID outbreak sooner rather than later, but at least right now it doesn't look good. That's why whenever cruises do get back to sailing, whenever that may be, there are going to have to be all sorts of changes unless this virus just vanishes. Those changes are going to have a big impact on cruising, and things might be weird, at least for a little bit. Number 1, paranoia being close to other passengers. This is the one that we're most interested to see how it plays out, and that's the possibility of paranoia between passengers. Cruisers are known for being friendly and outgoing. In normal times, you can strike up a conversation with just about anyone and make some new friends during the trip. But what about post-COVID? People have social distance for months. Even walking on the street, many of us get off the sidewalk when passing others so that we don't get too close. At this point, it's almost a reflex. What about on a cruise ship? Are passengers going to be paranoid of getting too close? Are people going to be standoffish and avoid others? Is the friendly nature of sailing going to give way to paranoia about your fellow passengers? It's bound to be weird at first, but we imagine people will get comfortable rather quickly. Number 2, temperature checks. Getting temperature checks to enter a building, when someone holds a thermometer to your forehead, is definitely awkward. And while we're not sure exactly what form they will take, temperature checks are coming to a cruise near you. Not all of the cruise lines have announced their plans for what sailing will look like, but those that have, including Norwegian, have said that temperature checks will be part of the process of getting on the ship. In fact, NCL says temperature checks will happen all over the ship, including prior to embarkation, when you get back to the ship from a port of call, before all meals in dining venues, and before all activities in public venues, as well before you disembark the ship. Other lines have simply mentioned checks when boarding. What we don't know is exactly how the temperatures will be taken. Hopefully they will be quick and unobtrusive. Having to stand there awkwardly while someone holds a thermometer to your head isn't exactly our idea of fun. Number 3, being self-conscious about your hygiene. Is it going to be weird to touch your face on a cruise? What if you sneeze? What if you cough? Does this mean you're going to have to go take a shower in hand sanitizer or risk getting the evil eye from your other passengers on the ship? Of course, we are joking, but there is some truth that passengers might feel self-conscious when they are around others. No one wants someone else to think they are sick or risking spreading COVID around the ship. On the positive side, this peer pressure might help keep everyone more healthy, as it's likely people will be on their best behavior regarding hygiene. So there's not going to be any more people slipping by the hand sanitizer as they enter a restaurant. Even so, some passengers might feel like others are judging them instead of being able to relax on their vacation. Number 4, emptier ships. How do you promote social distancing on a cruise ship when there are 4,000 people aboard what's essentially a floating city? Sure, you could just ask them all to stay away from each other, but it's much easier if there are just fewer people on the ship. For those that are used to packed ships and the buzzing atmosphere, having a smaller and quieter crowd is going to be a bit weird. Imagine going to Las Vegas and the streets are empty. It just wouldn't quite feel the same. Now, it's not certain that all ships are going to sail at reduced capacity, but we already know of at least 2 cruise lines that have said they will be sailing with fewer people on board, including one that will reduce capacity by 40%. Number 5, social distancing, including at the casino and the pool. You ever walk into a casino in the morning when there's no one around? It is pretty eerie and very different than the atmosphere the night before. And on a cruise ship, we're all used to having the pool be buzzing with music and people for days at sea and the sail away party. When sailing does come back, the pool and the casino will likely not be like they were unless the virus decides to go on vacation too. Cruise lines have announced social distancing measures will be in place in public areas. As well, Las Vegas resort casinos also offer a clue into how things will look. In that case, expect fewer loungers around the pool and more space between them. As for the casino, many land-based casinos are turning off every second or third slot machine and putting plexiglass dividers between places at the tables. It is definitely going to feel different. Number 6, masks while on the ship. First things first, it is not definite if you will be asked to wear a mask on a cruise or not. But because it would be such a weird feeling to vacation with a mask on, and in our opinion, masks are possible, it is worth mentioning. First, cruise lines have made mention of masks and the possibility. Virgin Voyages, for example, said they will follow the same guidance as recommended on land, so if people are advised to wear masks there, then they will do so at sea as well. Even the CEO of Norwegian Cruise Line Holdings has reportedly made mention of masks as a possibility on cruise ships. As well, EU Healthy Gateways, an organization that offers guidance on safe border crossings within the European continent, has suggested that masks be worn by crew and passengers when in terminals and indoors on the ship when distancing can't be maintained. Masks help slow the spread of COVID, but there's no doubt it would be weird to wear one on a cruise. Truth is, it is going to be a little bit weird when we get back to sailing and things are different, but hopefully the changes won't have to be around for long and we get on top of the COVID virus. If you have any comments or questions, be sure to put them in the comments below. As well, like and subscribe, and you can always visit us for more at Cruzely.com.